Hey, I'm Seth Stewart. I am a dancer choreographer based out of New York City, and I'm next on I.N-TV. I do everything from commercial hip-hop to contemporary to Broadway. I've done, in the commercial world, I've done like music videos. I've done Jay-Z. I've danced with Fergie, Black Eyed Peas, Duffy, Busta. I did a video for Nas. I did J-Lo's European tour. Broadway-wise, I've done Sweet Charity, which is, you know, a lot of Fosse-based stuff, and I've done In the Heights, where I was lucky enough to create my role as Graffiti Pete, which is kind of what people know me for now, but that's just a short version of it. I've done some commercials, and now just moving on to the next thing. I don't remember a time where I wasn't dancing, just because, you know, being an 80s baby, we grew up when MTV was music television, when there was nothing but, you know, every artist was dancing and singing. Like, you weren't popular unless you were dancing. So, you know, I grew up on Michael Jackson and Janet, and you know, obviously those are my big inspirations, but definitely like MC Hammer.
Can't touch this.
It makes people laugh, but his whole crew was killing it every time. So, you know, watching the old house party movies, that's just how I grew up. That's what pretty much started me out. By the time I was 16 to 18, I stopped competing and just did ballet classes. I went to a conservatory, believe it or not. And because that's what I knew I had to do in order to get there. So I did that from 16 to 18, did a conservatory, and then auditioned for the BFA program at Ailey, and I made it. And so from like the first year and a half, I did the BFA program and loved it. It was amazing training. But I still wanted to have the opportunity to dance. And no matter whether or not, you know, I was at Ailey or NYU or wherever, they didn't really want people auditioning. They wanted people to focus on the curriculum. I wasn't like that. I wanted to audition. So I actually ended up dropping out to go pursue my dream, which was to dance for artists or whatever it was. I didn't really have anything specific. I just knew I wanted to perform on stage. Growing up, especially when I was younger, probably until the time, you know, especially from like probably like 9 or 10 up until like 15 or 16, it was really hard because, you know, people would make fun of me, and you know, because I never really like would hide it. Like, I would just be dancing on the playground or whatever, like, you know, crisscross or whatever, and I wouldn't really care. And you know, the girls were just as bad as the guys, saying I was gay, saying I was this or that, and I used to get in a lot of fights. I would be ready to fight anybody, just because I didn't really realize it, because obviously I fought because, you know, my feelings were hurt, but I didn't understand why I couldn't, what was so wrong about it, especially when I was seeing other, you know, males on TV dancing, you know, like, so growing up, it was hard, but then at the point of like 16, I didn't care what anybody thought. I had been through it. I was like, whatever, you can say what you want to say. We're called the Pudding Factory Film Studios, and you know, we got graffiti on the wall, you know, a professional setup lighting grid with all of our cyc lights, 1Ks, 2Ks, 4Ks, and 5Ks. Bunch of shutters and anything you can imagine. Again, we have a white cyc that, you know, is for more classic shots, black and white, or photography, whatever you need. But again, we like to keep it fun, so we put our little gaucho up there. It used to work, but I think we overdrove it. So props are always around in here, and it's really fun, you know. We've had, because we're on the first floor, we've had like a Mustangs in here. We've had a Rolls Royce in here from some videos. And then you come this way, And you actually come into my studio, my personal studio, which is Oh Yeah Dance Studios. And this is where we kind of get buck wild. You see, I just like graffiti. And this is my studio. So there's different stuff on the walls. I actually just got done with a session with one of the recording artists that that I'm actually working with right now. I'm 27, I'm about to be 28. It's only in the past 6 months to a year that I can say to myself I've made it. But I'm not done. Like, I mean, there's so many other things in life that I want to do that have nothing to do with dance. And that is actually a struggle, because I'm like, this has been my dream for so long that when you feel like you hit certain goals, some goals you never even realized that you had, you get to a depressed stage where you're like, shit, like now what, you know? And that was me for a little bit.
In the heights, I find my coffee and I go. I buy my coffee, and in the heights, I turn on my radio.
So I guess the 4 things are: be passionate about what you want to do, love what you do, stay focused on it, and then just go for it. That's the 4 biggest pieces of advice I can give for any dancer out there. You can find me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I'm also on Facebook. Where else am I on? I have a website, which is sethstewart.net, and my music and my art page will be coming up soon, which is iamsethstewart.com, and those are coming up soon. For my film studio, it's the puddingfactory.com, which you can see about our rentals and what we have going on here. And I think I'll leave it at that, because otherwise I'm going to overwhelm people. I'm a little bit in a bunch of different places, but yeah, sethstewart.net, iamsethstewart.com. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Come see me, give me a hug. We can hug it out. And yeah, and I'm always in New York, LA, worldwide.